brought to you by none other than the creators of Wolfenstein 3D, Doom and Quake. Rage is the long-awaited development from id Software. You'd think that the creators of the FPS genre would stick to their guns.
Roger, Atlas Control, this is 1134. Check for green.
Rage is something different, a foray into an open-world FPS. Focusing on their strengths, it has kept the majority of the FPS experience to certain areas of the open world. Once inside these areas, the action becomes fairly linear. The open world is reserved for id's second new venture, post-apocalyptic frenzied car combat. The game takes place in a post-apocalyptic world following the impact of the asteroid Apophis. You, the sole survivor of your Ark, emerge to find a world populated by diligent survivors, mutants and bandits, who are divided into various organisations of their own.
Walk into our house. Take him to the kill room.
The few survivors are forced to rebuild civilization anew. One shady group, the Authority, a hostile authoritarian faction, seems obsessed with finding Ark survivors. You quickly find yourself tangled up in this unstable world trying to uncover the truth about the Authority.
You don't know how lucky you are that the Authority hasn't found you yet.
Without giving what little away there is, the story unfortunately doesn't amount to much. It appears to be what it looks on the surface, a simple good versus evil struggle. All I can say is try not to focus too much on the storyline.
Very interesting, and very troubling. Thank you for helping us with this.
Do, on the other hand, expect a visual treat. Using the latest proprietary game engine, id Tech 5, id Software has managed to produce a gorgeous game. Key features such as advanced megatextures help to mould a dynamic and changeable world, littered with craggy canyons, dank dark caves, intimidating ravine hideouts, and huge rusted sea tankers bent and beached. On occasions, texture pop-ins can frustrate, especially at the start of the game. In the grand scheme of things, these niggles are dwarfed by the sheer scale and beauty of the larger environments. The believability of the world is created by NPCs which are superbly voice acted and are brilliantly animated.
Oh, I am so glad I got out of bed this morning.
Disappointingly, there are only a few NPCs in the wasteland that you run into whilst wandering around the open areas. Even then, they only serve as guides to point you to the main areas of the map. What really makes this game tricky is the AI enemies used to work the environment intelligently. Those vault over objects, scale walkways, jump off walls, and roll to evade incoming fire. This intelligent AI makes a dynamic gameplay. Be sure to expect mutants and jackals alike to be dodging blows to try and put a blade or hammer in your skull. The weapons of Rage sound just as good as they look. Each weapon sounds gritty and meaty, from the rustic assault rifle to the straightforward pistol to the sneaky sniper rifle. Everything sounds just as it should do in a post-apocalyptic world. The most satisfying weapon in my opinion, the buckshot. Sneak up on an unsuspecting victim, pull the trigger and see how they fly. Not all weapons need a trigger. RPG elements play a strong role. You'll find yourself collecting items to craft secondary weapons such as RC bomb cars and wing sticks.
I can't see post control on that.
I found that when playing the game, I tend to ignore items related to boosting health and stamina and focus more on crafting items which are extremely cool. One of my favourites, the sentry bots. Deploy a couple of these bad boys, sit back, relax and enjoy the mechanical mayhem. This element seems to work well and adds depth to gameplay. In order to buy and craft items, currency is needed. Sadly, it seems that the extra side missions and minigames are there solely for the purpose of earning currency. There is no real link between the side missions and the main story. Regrettably, this creates a lack of depth. So don't feel bad if you don't feel the urge to wander off the beaten track. However, thanks to some great glitches, you can really work the system if you're desperate for cash. This glitch enables you to win as much money as you wish in the Banjo Duel game. Want to learn this trick? Make sure to like the video and sign up to GameLock and we will send you this lovely bit of information. The wasteland is expansive and full of treacherous, bloodthirsty bandits. As you expect, when you run into these guys, they won't be giving you a chivalrous courtesy. Bandits roam the open areas between civilizations and dirt buggies and are packing some serious heat. From homing missiles and drop mines to RC bomb cars and dual-mounted miniguns, they have a wide assortment to bring about your untimely death. You will soon find yourself quickly accustomed to car combat as you find yourself being issued your very own buggy. A good deal of upgrading can be made to your ride by visiting garages that are found in each of the main settlements. Upgrades range from armour and aesthetics to some nasty weapons that are akin to Mad Max. This extra car combat provides a welcome distraction whilst exploring. In order to upgrade your ride, which you will need to do in order to survive from getting to A to B, you must take part in races which earn you credits.
Welcome, friend. Name's Carl, but seems like everyone calls me Slim.
These credits can be spent in local garages for parts. The main trouble is that AI rarely provides enough of a challenge to keep you engrossed. Races feel forgettable, and on reflection they were. This had a knock-on effect on the free roam driving. Bandits were only engaged when they were directly obstructing a route to another part of the map. I wasn't motivated enough to earn credits to unlock the upgrades. Upgrading the buggy was only done when essential.
That's for sure.
The multiplayer aspect isn't what most people associate id Software with. Online car combat is the main focus, but is backed up by Wasteland Legends, a small series of two-player bonus co-op missions that centre around stories and environments that players have heard about or played through in the single-player campaign. Enlisting a friend doesn't add a huge amount to the experience. If you had high hopes for a great multiplayer shootout, then you may be a little disappointed. Sections can be tough and will require good teamwork in order to manage resources. It does add another distraction from the main campaign, but don't expect it to be fleshed out with upgrades and incentives to play them over and over again. Surprisingly, it's the racing around the environments in the Wasteland with friends that can prove to be both addictive and satisfying. When racing, players are given incentives via upgrades, which can be earned by completing objectives in each of the 4 racing modes. Meteor Rally finds players collecting fallen meteors and driving them to capture zones to score points. Chain Rally, surprisingly, involves taking rally points in succession, chaining them together for an increased score and a faster way to beat your opponents. Triad Rally means capturing 3 consecutive rally points to score. Finally, Carnage is, put simply, free-for-all vehicle combat. Kill enemies to score. Unexpectedly, I found that the latter was the least entertaining. The 3 rally modes were addictive and more balanced. Rally points and capture zones change up and down the map. One minute you'll feel out of touch and the next minute the rally point will pop up right in front of your eyes. This means you're never far from the action. id Software knows its strengths. What's clear is that id has created a game which has pushed them out of their comfort zone. While it may not be the perfect game, the FPS elements are thoroughly entertaining and driving brings something fresh and exciting to the table. The sandbox component lacks depth, the story is a little weak, and texture pop-ins may frustrate you. Nevertheless, this game is a joy to play. Your eyes will be lapping up gorgeous environments for hours to come. If you're a little tired of the same old run and gun title, this may be for you. Rage is great when played as a full package, so FPS fans take note. You will find more here than you bargained for. Put in the time to fully explore this title and you won't be let down. For more game reviews, make sure your first stop is Gamelock.